Alright, let's get out of the way. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment if you like. Obviously, with the name Hell's Paradise, you're going to think this is probably similar to hell, or what you think it'd be like to be in hell. And it's true. This is actually what I think hell would be like. So these guys that throw a bunch of swords, weapons at this one guy, he just absorbs them all, and he just turns around, smiles. It was fucking nothing. Don't worry about it. I don't know how he fucking smiles, but this guy's the devil probably. Supposedly, he's immortal because he got medicine from across the land. I don't know whether to believe him, but he says that the elixir of life is real, it just might not be here. So even he doesn't know if it's here, and the people who sent them here don't even know if it's here too. So I'm thinking, this might be a waste of time. It's just here to kill people, right? And I like how Gabimaru thinks. So the girl says, it sure is beautiful here. Why is it called Hell's Paradise? But Gabimaru says, it's strange, and I think it's pretty ugly. Plants and things like that shouldn't grow just naturally. You need to raise them with water and soil and all that stuff. And then he takes off the ropes that are on his hand, and supposedly she says that you're not allowed to do that. You have to keep them tied. And he says, that's ridiculous. How are you going to make me fight like that? Plus, the only thing they gave us was a little bit of food and a stupid drawing that you can't even make sense of. So he feels like they don't want him to find this elixir so they can give it to them. Well, yes, you're a criminal. Of course they want you dead. They just want you to work for them. And that's why she's pointing a sword at your neck. And after she threatens him, saying, I'll cut your neck here if you don't tie them, he says, well, fine. And he agrees with her. And when she's about to tie his hands again, an iron ball and chain just smashes his head open. And who the fuck threw that weapon? Some ogre looking guy. He says, one down, next weakling. Dislocates his neck, but he says, no problem. But do you see that? His hands are not tied, and he has weapons. And keep forgetting, just because one police officer is righteous, doesn't mean the next one is. So this samurai doesn't care for tying up his criminal. He just wants to get off the island so he can enjoy his life. And it turns out to be that this guy's rank is much higher than hers, and she's the lowest. So all the assignmen are ranked, and I'm not sure if she's the lowest because she's a girl, or because she still has a sense of justice, or something like that. But this red-faced guy is really into his sword so much that you think he must be very horny for weapons, because he keeps looking at that shit like it's a candy or something. And I get it, he's been on this island for probably years. And then Gabimaru says, if we fight, then the rest of the people are going to get ahead of us. And he says, that's the point. I need you to lose. And his whole plan is to kill all the other criminals, so he just has all day to look for the elixir. And Gabimaru has this point where if his wife wouldn't want him to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But the guy obviously wants to kill him, so he has no other choice. The guy hits him in the head, and I'm sure he felt it, but you keep forgetting that Gabimaru is actually immortal. He can't die. And he said that he wouldn't fight until he ties his hands with these ropes. But this guy keeps stabbing him, breaking stuff on his head, and he's done tying the ropes. He finally fights back. He throws all his weapons in the air and kicks his ass. So less than 5 minutes, he already killed this guy. And I'm thinking, damn, this guy has so much experience. And right when you think it's over, even though the guy's dead, the samurai is supposed to walk them through the island, cuts his whole head off, and then he says, finally, I'm going home. You say that if you had a hard day's work, or you just finished a homework assignment and you turned it in for the last day. But not when you cut someone's fucking head off. And after the person dies, his only job is to grab the head and take it back to the village so they know that this person's dead. And right before going back to the village, he says, you should be careful of that criminal next to you, because I've seen some shit already on the boat. There's people that are already killing other people. And there's some pretty shady shit going on. I'm thinking, whoa, why did she do that, and what's happening here? Then this guy must be the god of this universe, because everything he's saying is true and it does end up happening. For example, he says, right now, these people are killing them, but in a second, it's going to be the other way around. And damn, I didn't expect that at all. The guy who trained the samurai girl is actually killed, and I'm thinking, well, you said girls are weak, it just turns out to be that you're weak. There's some pretty crazy people here, because this guy, instead of just killing him, he starts eating him, and I'm thinking, whoa, cannibalism. And this blonde guy is so strong, he can grab this guy's forearms, rip them, and cut himself loose, and kill the guy who's following him. And the girl that thought they could make out with this guy and kill him, well, looks like it turned out the other way around. He killed her for being interesting. And supposedly the samurai who last stands is the one who's going to become the chief after the chief dies. But he's only saying, he doesn't seem interested, he says. Now that he's a loser and he's going back to the village, I guess he's just gonna spoil all the beans. In just a couple of minutes, this guy's fucking toxic, because he somehow gets into her brain and says, this guy is a criminal and you shouldn't trust him. And she says, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't trust a criminal. But the joke was on me, because he actually was gonna kill her. So then we figure out why Gabimaru is crazy. It's because when he was younger, his parents died, and he was adopted by this mysterious old man who had a bloody sword with him. And you could probably put the puzzles together. 2 people on the ground bleeding, he's holding a bloody sword. Okay, you get it. He fucking killed them. And the reason? Really stupid. He says, because they were shinobi and they wanted to leave the village because they had a kid. Pathetic. He says that loving someone makes you weak and you shouldn't love even a parent, and especially things that you love. And he thinks about his wife he has at home. And I'm assuming that's why he's attacking her, because you remember that he said you shouldn't like anyone or anything, and I think he's starting to become friends with her. So he says, alright, now I gotta kill her. And for some reason she's still thinking, that's a violation of the rules, you shouldn't do that. And he says, well, it's kind of like your friend said, it doesn't matter how you do it, it's just get the elixir and then go back. And supposedly this really strong team called the Iwagakure is supposed to come and just kill everyone here. And because of that, he has to kill her. And he says, don't worry, it's not that I hate you. It's just you're kind of annoying, so I gotta let you go. So there's really awesome clashing of swords for about 2-3 minutes. And it just turns out to be that they both don't want to kill each other. But I think Gabimaru doesn't even know if he wants to kill her or not. And she is too soft, she can't swing at people that she actually likes. While fighting her, he also remembers that she said, you might have been a really big murderer, but you still have feelings. And I think confidence comes from understanding your emotions. And I think that's facts. And so the match finally ends, because clearly he put his fingers next to her neck, but he still hesitated. Now he has to fight her again. And finally, he just breaks her sword, and she loses. But even then, she has the audacity of saying, well, it seems like you still want me as a friend. And then a really strange cut happens, and he's on top of her, and he's basically telling her he's going to kill her. I mean, there's many levels to this. One, he has this adopted dad's mentality of he doesn't need anything because everything makes him weak. 2, he just remembers that he's a murderer, so why even care to kill one person when he's already killed many? And 3, he's already known to be a demon, so I guess he's just living up to it. And right when he's about to pierce her neck, the spirit of his wife is holding him back and saying, you don't have to do this, honey. You can live a normal life, not as a demon. And basically he just gives up there. He puts the sword back, and we find out that he's been struggling with this for a real long time. That's why he's only had the same emotion on his face. And so she says, this one time, I'll let you just go without killing you. But I want to see you succeed. I want you to be able to beat this thing and go back to your wife. And so that ends this chapter of being a demon. So if you've watched the episode, you've noticed that there's a lot of bugs, insects around here. And they start to notice that the bugs, if you look at them in the face, they have a fucking human's face. And he's like, oh man, we have to kill them. And this butterfly landed on his hand, but he didn't really think about it until he saw his face. And then a bump shows up on his hand, and he chops it off. If a butterfly did that to your hand, would you just chop it off, or did you say, fuck it? I guess that's just how life is. Also, if he doesn't die of the infection that he got from the butterfly, he's gonna die of bleeding out. But it is good that he chopped off his hand, because now this would have happened to him. And out of nowhere, a bunch of these insects with human faces come out. And this island's fucking wild, because how does killing one butterfly lead to the whole infection of islands coming out? Well, that's not even the worst, because now they have to fight this fish head guy. It's really good that she travels with Gabimaru, because he doesn't give a fuck. He's already ready to kill. His instincts are just ready for him to just slash people and kill them. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. And don't forget to slash that subscribe button. Make it bleed to death. Alright guys, peace.